Welcome in, Greg Ruff and Kevin Carroll along with you, Trevecca men's basketball. Hadn't seen you in a while.
That's right. Hope you had a great holidays.
Did, absolutely did. Did you have a good Christmas?
Can't complain. Can't complain.
Did you have any lacrosse action going on?
My wife is a saint. We drove 10 hours to North Carolina, and then she drove, I think, 10 or 12 hours to Orlando to take my son to a lacrosse tournament. So,
just so people know, your oldest son plays lacrosse, and he's
And
on
basketball.
a team, huh?
And basketball
And he's on a lacrosse team based in what state?
in Florida. Yeah.
I didn't know we were paying you that much, man.
Yeah, you're not. You're not. So,
Well, talk about your team. It's a neat setup in Division II. I think sometimes coaches probably don't want that long break, but they force you to take 7 days off or something like that. I can't remember what it is.
yeah.
But it makes you get away, makes your players get away. Talk about the good and the bad of that, I guess.
I'll be honest, I struggled with it early on in my career as a head coach, just being like, man, that's a long time off. And I think the older I've gotten, the more I've learned to appreciate it and know that your team's not just going to, fold or disband or whatever, or just fall off a cliff if you give them a week off.
Yeah.
So I think everybody came back refreshed. We had a great, week of practice that led up to a great win against Lee on Saturday on the road. And, so I think there's a lot of good things about it. Just, gives guys the chance to be, home with their family and spend time with them.
I didn't get to broadcast that game. Actually, I wanted to go down there. Lee's one of my favorite trips just because it's in the mountains and the Coe and all that kind of stuff. I know you didn't think anything about that while you were down there, but
Wasn't at the top of my mind. No.
Yeah, and there's some really good people at Lee too, a really good university. But I don't think, and again, Lee hasn't won a game in conference, which is just amazing to me. And so people may see that and see whatever 0-6, 0-7, but you won on the road at a program that's won a lot of games. And let's just be honest, they probably had a little bit of motivation because of one of your players going into that. And they had a good crowd.
They did.
And you guys you did what you got to do on the road. You took it to them early, and talk about how important that was because you knew they were going to come back.
Well, I think first and foremost, Lee is a great program. They've been a mainstay.
Yeah.
They were picked second preseason in our conference and have a lot of, fifth-year seniors from teams that have won a lot of games over the last couple of years, and it just goes to show how tenuous all this stuff is and how difficult the league is. And they're like us, 4 out of their first 6, and now 5 of our first 7 conference games have been on the road, and they've lost a couple of close ones.
Yep.
And it just, I still think they're a really good team.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to win a lot of games going forward, and that was a great. I think that one will age well as we get on further along down the line. Obviously Jalen played there for 3 years, was before transferring here, and I was happy to see him play as well as he did, and to play in a way that gave our team the best chance to be successful.
I would think that would be something that a coach would be worried about, and I've seen it. A player going back to where he was, where he got the chance, but didn't get all the chances that he needed, and now is excelling at enough place, and you go back. And sometimes there's a lot of pressure on them, and they don't perform necessarily as well. I thought, like you said, I thought Jalen, that was the best case scenario. Jalen played really well, under control, didn't force it.
Right.
And I loved that about him.
Yeah. No, he played a complete game on both ends of the floor.
Yeah.
Had a ton of energy and was really focused and didn't force a lot of things and just played well. He played like what he is, and that's a great player. So I was just really happy for him.
You had several players contributed there, Jakari in particular. Jakari had some down games shooting-wise and stuff like that, so it was really good to see him coming back. That's the player he is.
Yeah, I thought he did really well. I thought Navon had one of his best games of the year. It was a complete team effort, and I thought we played extremely well for about 35 minutes of the game. Didn't finish it off the way we wanted to, but a lot of credit to our guys and coming back off the break and playing so well.
Real quickly, last 30 seconds or so here, talk about Delta State, a coach that a lot of Trevecca people are familiar with, Mike Nienaber. He was at Bethel, then at Christian Brothers, and now is at Delta State. And I have a lot of respect for him as a coach and the teams that he has played. And he's had some of my favorite opponent players over the years have played for Mike Nienaber, including his brother. Just talk a little bit about what we're going to see tonight against Delta State.
Yeah, he's like you said, it's been a mainstay of this league for so long and had so many great teams over the years. It's a great coach and a great guy. and they'll be well coached again tonight. They're a little bit different than a lot of his Christian Brothers teams in the sense that they're much more athletic. They're going to press the entire game, and the whole thing is just kind of, can you control the ball and value the ball, and get good shots on the other end. And on the offensive end, they always do some things that are very difficult to guard, and they've got a guard who's a really good player, in number 3, Carroll. And, it'll be a tough game for us. Tough matchup. They're going to do a lot of things that present challenges to us, and we're, maybe have some different personnel out there at times and things like that. So just seeing how we can adjust, it'll be an exciting game.
Coach Kevin Carroll and Trevecca basketball coming up next here on Flow College.